Right, Mr. Bond, UV resin. This stuff sets in seconds, so what we do is the bottom of the fly, pull it straight along the hook shank and just coat some of that stuff in there. Fill all the gaps in between the eyes and coat the fibres quite a way up the hook shank to about the end of the gills there. Ain't got to be too pretty with it. Just expose it under the light there. A few seconds. And that's hard enough to play with. Same thing on the top of the fly. Just pull the fibres straight up to the top of the gills and just coat all that in there, let some soak in. Fill the gap between the eyes all the way down to the front of the head, top of the gills. Just fill the big bits in. Nope. Expose that to the light again. And that should be hard enough now just to hold everything in position while we get a big blob of it, blob it straight over the eye like that. See that? And then what we do is just work it around, cover up to where you've cover over most of the gills. You don't have to do all of them. I'll whack that under the light to dry and we'll do the next one. Same thing, underneath, pull the fibres tight. Fill that big gap in between the eyes. Just a few seconds is enough. And tight across the top again. Don't forget your big shape, your big delta shape of your fly. Nope. Don't be frightened of it, you can always take it off again. It's not like epoxy, it dries a lot harder. It's easy to use because it dries when you tell it to. There's none of this mixing up stuff, it's straight out the bottle. Same thing again, get a big blob of it this time. Straight over the eye like that. That's not quite enough perhaps. Big blob. Make sure everything's coated. Now you can do this over and over again, build up as big a head as you want, but they're normally about right, as long as everything's stuck on there and glued together and covered over, sealed up. Now the other one's been in there a while, we'll turn her over and do her again, do the other side. Yeah, I get loads and loads of fly heads out of a bottle of this stuff. Absolutely brilliant. Once you've got used to this, you won't go back to epoxy. There we go. Take this one back out, do that one. You're better off if you do loads of flies at once because you can just keep working on them. dry for a while. Right, they should be dry now, so what we'll do is get them out and chop them up. Ruler, I like my flies to be about 6 inches long, so just hold them against a 6-inch mark and just snip the bottom off straight. Now all we've got to do is trim it into a fish shape. So to leave a tail, take about 1/3 of the fibres off at the bottom, like that. Do about the same at the top, not quite as much perhaps, and you've got your tail. Right. Then take a big sweep off at an angle and keep curving it round, and really you're aiming for a curve from the hook point round up to the tail, so just keep trimming that until it's about right, something like that. Same at the top, you can take a bit more of a sweep off of this one. And that's looking pretty damn fish. Start with an orange pen. Now if you put the ruler across the bottom of the fly like that, you can just stroke the fibres away with the orange pen and just colour in the underneath to suggest the anal fin of your perch. And with a red pen you can just add 1 or 2 highlights like that, just to break it up a bit. Now the tail, if you gather the tail together, start about 1 inch in, something like that. And as you move across the fly, make it not as long. See that curve around there? It's just a little thing I'm a bit fussy about. Bit of orange on there, and then hit it with the red, just to get a few highlights. Same with the top, but you can just go red with that one. Hold it as though it's across the back of the fish, and that's all fin there, see, so you can colour a lot of that in. Right, the stripes, now this is the difficult bit. I like to turn the fly upside down like that. Now there should be 7 stripes in a perch. Easiest way to figure that one. Put the ruler so one side of it is bang on in the middle of the fly. Start about 2/3 of the way down. Start making little marks away from the ruler, pressing the ruler down all the time, and make the marks longer as you get towards the top. There's one, look. Then you can start behind the head with another one. And then down by the tail with one. And then all you got to do is put 2 between each. And before I just show you the finished effect, we'll just spin her over and do the other side. Yeah? Now that winter's here, take one of them down your local pits and go fish with it. Submerged branches, overhanging trees, you name it, that's where the perch hang around, and pike is on the lookout for them.